little video this morning, so if I actually get this video uploaded right, you guys should see it in the morning. So good morning. Grinding hay this morning, already fed, and now I'm just getting some hay ground up. We're going through a lot of hay, which is great because I have to. I don't have a choice. But little update on the 8300, man. It makes a huge difference grinding hay. It's perfect tractor for grinding hay. You can see my hay trailer behind me. I actually just hook it up behind this tractor and go out to my round bale sacks and just pull it in here. It makes it really convenient. But this video, you might see where I've weighed some of my own calves before you see this one. I may just get this one uploaded, but it's gonna get a little hectic around here. I've got another little construction project I gotta do. I gotta pour a concrete pad. I bought a hydraulic chute, so it should be here in about a month. They're gonna build it, and I gotta get a pad to put it on. And what kind of makes that hectic is I no longer have an employee. My employee got a better job, I guess, or a better paying job, which I can't blame him for that at all. But he, just picked the worst damn time in the world to do it with the amount of cattle we're getting in here and everything. But maybe it's probably not a bad time for him. And it wouldn't bother me. This is my first time. This is my first full-time employee, not my first employee, but what's really gonna bother me is trying to find somebody to replace him that works as hard as he did. I mean, that's the bad part about that. That guy was perfect employee. I only have one bitch about him at all, and that's I didn't know enough Spanish, and he didn't know enough English, and he knew a lot of English. I'll give him that. Knew a lot of English, but occasionally there'd be something that he wouldn't catch, and but it's definitely definitely not easy working for me. Not easy working for my dad because we're both real high strung when it comes to work. You're here to work, do your job. If you're fucking up, I'm gonna tell you you're fucking up. But I'm not doing it to be mean. I just want you to do it right. And so, he was getting paid pretty good, especially for ranch hands. But alright, so my dad just drove up. I talked to him real quick. Right now, he's the only help I've got. Me and him are partners on like the calves, and then on our ranch cows. We're partnered on our cows and stuff. I've got my own cows. He has his own cows, and then we have partner cows. But as far as like the feedlot deal, like it's kind of I make all the general decisions, but we're partners on it, and that's the way I want it. I don't want it any other way. But yeah, he's only helped. My wife got her job a week and a half ago. She started her first day. She works at a research center for college, a feedlot research center. And that's what she wanted to do. She's got I hate that I lost her help because she's fantastic help. She's been in the process of getting her master's, and the guy she's getting her master's through has just been dragging ass and taking forever. I mean, it's really kind of put her in a bad spot, the way he's done his part of the deal. And always puts her shit last, won't look at it, and really kind of a chicken shit kind of thing. but you know what can you do? So she got all of her stuff done and turned in weeks ago, and the guy just pretty much said, I gotta look at these other people's first, and then I'm gonna take a week off, and then I'll get back to yours. So, you know, I got 2 good full weeks out of her, and she would work for me even while she's doing her stuff, you know, come out and help if she could, had the time to. And when we started weaning all of our ranch calves, it was just phenomenal amount of help that she was, especially because everything was getting sick. It didn't matter whose calf it was, where it came from, everything was getting sick, and it's been that way all through this area with everybody that's been doing any decent numbers of cattle. And so having her help was just fantastic. I mean, you couldn't ask for better help. And so, but she had applied for that job, and you know, they really wanted her to come work for them, and she started last Monday. It's today's Wednesday, so she's been, this is her week and a half. Went and did that, so I lost her. And the cattle, you know, we started getting ahead of everything, getting everything kind of worked out, and started getting it managed, the sickness. And then my employee Monday showed, he wasn't supposed to come work Monday, he had some, like a meeting he had to go to, and he showed up that afternoon, just that look on his face. I'm like, son of a bitch. And he said he got a better job, or he said he had a job, and you know, it wasn't, you know, he wasn't asking for permission to go take the job, you know, right out, but he was still asking, you know, if it was okay. And you know, what can you tell him? You can't be like, no, you can't go take that job, you know, how dare you want more money and only want one person to yell at you instead of 2 people to yell at you, because, you know, you can't say that shit. And I'm happy for him. I really, really like the guy. But what my issue is now is I know that I won't find anybody who will work as hard as him, especially for that pay. Guy works 6 days a week. He'd work 7 days a week if you needed him to, as long as, you know, he didn't have to go somewhere to get groceries or something. He loved being on the ranch, loved doing that work. He did manual labor, he'd run equipment. He would show up 6 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, go home at 6 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. Just, he worked until the job needed to be done, and that's the kind of guy I gotta have, you know. You're coming here to work, you gotta work. And I paid him decently well. He got, you know, $2,000 a month and a pickup here. You know, you had to come to work here to get his pickup to drive around here, but not a bad deal. I got friends who work for ranches that get $2,100 a month, and they get, you know, it's corporate ranches, so they get benefits, but a lot of people only get $1,600 a month in a house, which I may try to remedy the house problem. That way I've got a house that I traded to Grangeville for. I may try to get the house back. That way I've got a place for somebody who can stay here. But, you know, not to be racist or anything, but in my part of the world, you know, you get a lot of the Mexican guys, they'll outwork anybody. I mean, fuck, they'll outwork me. And I work 7 days a week. Especially manual labor. I mean, they will just bust their ass. You know, where they'll go drive steel T-post all day long by hand, and I don't want to do that shit. I got a skid steer for a reason. But you got too many people here now who just want to show up for a paycheck. And you know, young kids, they want to sit there on their phone all fucking day, and they just want to sit there and get a paycheck. They want to go home at 5, and I understand that. When I've worked for other people, and I want to go home at 5. You know, I've had enough of that crap. But only working for me, you know, I want to get my money's worth out of you, and that's that's kind of a problem. You gotta really kind of like what you're doing to work here, because it's, you know, you're gonna have to bust your ass, and that's with a lot of places, a lot of ranches. I mean, you gotta really like it, because you're gonna be there all day. So I don't know. I'm gonna maybe try to find somebody part-time to help processing and stuff like that, and you know, going into the winter, you know, we've got a few pins to build, you know, finish our pin projects. I haven't built any of the gates or anything yet, or finished the pins behind the barn. I've got all the material now for them. So, you know, I've got little projects like that, and then we got to pour that concrete slab for that. We're going to build a processing barn, but it won't be right away, but we're going to pour the slab for it and put our hydraulic chute on it. So we got a few projects like that, but mainly now it's just sorting cattle and feeding cattle, and the big brandings are going to be done. You know, from now we're going to do, maybe I'll buy 100 head or so a month, so you'll have to do that, and that's not a big deal. But I still got to preg like 300 cows, so that's not going to be terribly fun, but you know, I'll figure it out. That's kind of where the part-time comes in. Until I can find a full-time employee, probably after the first year, I'll probably try to find one, because once we start getting into the spring and we start getting cattle in for grass and shipping cattle off wheat, and our cows are calving, and then I gotta start getting ready for cutting hay and all that fun stuff, it's just gonna be nuts, and we can't do it without an employee. I don't want to come up with the money. That's never fun, but you know, after, you know, this year was kind of a trial run, buying this many calves, and you know, it actually works, buying this many calves, because I can take, you know, 1 or 2 months wages of that employee, and as I'm doing all my books, like, you know, I'm buying calves every month, well, that he gets paid that month out of that group of calves, and so, you know, it adds a little bit more to the break even of the calf, but you know, it actually works that way. And so I can go through and be like, all right, you know, these calves paid him $4,000, these calves paid him $2,000, something like that, since I'm buying calves every month, and it works pretty good that way. But it's just I don't know. I don't know a better way to do it, but now I gotta find another employee, and I'm not the biggest. I think one of the bigger problems is the amount of hours that I work, because I work all day, every day. I don't go to church. Sun's up, you gotta be working. I take a couple days off a year, and that's it. And you know, people don't want to do that. And the fact that I'm kind of a grumpy bastard, and you know, if you're screwing up, I'm gonna tell you you're screwing up, because you're screwing up, and that costs me money. And the only way I can pay somebody is if they're doing their job, doing it right. So, I don't know. Fun times though. I don't see me getting to be a nicer person anytime soon, so I don't really know if that's gonna solve any problems. And I know everyone I know, most people have a boss that's a jackass, so maybe that's just the norm, and I won't worry about me, because I'm paying somebody. Really, it's just me paying somebody to deal with me. So, but yeah, that's kind of where that's at. That's what's going on there. Always something. But this video is getting kind of long, so we're just grinding hay. Been having to move my tractor around a couple times because the amount of dust is. Our wind isn't making up our mind which way it wants to blow yet, but it's doing pretty good. Grinding good. You get to see my hand again. That's where we're gonna leave it. So thanks for watching. Leave a comment. You know, whatever you want to do. So take care.